Alright, so here we go. Let's start this puppy up for real this time. Yeah. It'll be good times. Good times. That's my start button. Okay, let's see. So that doesn't affect the mic. Game, continue. Alright, start from Aira 0000. Of course, the most basic element about this is that this is actually alright. So this is basically going to be kind of a pseudo challenge game, a little different from how normal people would play it. 3-class limit, no hybrids, no items except for 2 particular points, because it's absolutely impossible to beat those points without grinding to an excessive amount. One of them being Orph, which comes up in I think that's the third, that's the 4th island. I think it's the 3rd one. That's where you get Gabba, which is Gabba's a lot of fun. He's definitely has to be my favorite. Where are my manners? I have not introduced myself. Hello, my name is Alex. I typically go by the name Ignacia. On GameFAQs, I've actually used that name prior to anybody else ever using it on the internet. In fact, I'm the oldest version of Ignacia, except apparently it is a real name. But it's not IGN Asia like so many people like to believe it is. It's actually based on the Ignacy in Tales of Destiny and the Ignis continent in Xenogears, when I first played those games way back in the day. Use it as my my StarCraft name. I think that was pretty much the first online multiplayer game I used to play. Man, that was a long time ago. Way back when that was first released. Anyway, here we go. So Kiefer and the hero Eris are going to be popping up out of there. Oh yeah, that's right. There are a couple of other rules. I can't play the mini minnow game, so I can't collect that and get the super awesome pieces of equipment. And I can't do the casino, so I can't abuse the casino. I have to try to rush this game. So I have very particular class setups that I have to go for. In order to prepare. And since I can't use any items, one of the big things about this game is, say if you play like a classless or a limited class game, certain particular items, especially equipment that has spells. It's one of the cool things I love about this series. It helps you get around the need for classes, or to make up for lack of skills or certain abilities, or just the need to get around MP, or say monsters happen to have the ability to block. There's nothing. Have the ability to block your spells or to bounce them. It actually ignores those defensive walls. I don't believe it is anything like I don't remember. I have to look back at my notes. But I don't believe stuff like Magic Wall that reduces spell damage has any effect. But I don't remember. But in any case, I can't abuse that system. So I'm going to give him the leather hat, because he's definitely going to need the extra defense. I'm going to allow usage of seeds. It's just items used in battle and items used to heal outside of battle. Is essentially what the limitation is, because seeds are very much unnecessary. I mean, you've got the upcoming 3DS game, and that changes a lot of things. Like in this game, stats are fixed, so essentially you can use seeds at will, because it never actually alters the stat growth. But in the remake that's coming up, it will alter the second up. So you actually have to be a lot more circumspect. It only does it generally like a small amount. You'll generally keep most of your stat gains. Anyway, so Aira happens to be the son of the head fisherman in town. A small fishing village, which is essentially an Eden, you could say. The original subtitle of this, although it doesn't show up for Dragon Warrior, it is in its original name, Dragon Quest VII. In Japan, it was Warriors from Eden, and that's the name that Japan keeps for the 3DS version as well. But the whole point of it is basically what this landscape is right here, right now. Is that this place is a literal Eden. There are no monsters. There's nothing that terrible or tragic that ever really happens unless maybe you get lost out to sea somewhere, which that would suck. And I guess you do have to fight sea monsters, but they're technically just They're not really monsters in the general sense of the word, and that's Maribel. Maribel is the daughter of the mayor of the town, so she's a bit of a spoiled brat. A lot of people really can't stand her at first, but over time she kind of grows on you, especially if you pay attention to the party chat and the in-battle chat. This is the only Dragon Quest, and the only version of this Dragon Quest that actually has in-battle chat, which is awesome. It's a feature I really wish that Niji Hori had actually kept for future releases, because it's so sweet. I mean, essentially what they changed it to is that you can look at your enemies and determine whether or not they're going to attack or they're going to be in defensive mode. To get an idea of whether or not of how to change your tactics in battle. But in this one, you get that, but you actually get dialogue in between each party member, or special other special notices from your characters about things that are going on in battle. So say that somebody is is dying, or is about to die, or is having problems. It reminds you. Your party members actually remind you. And the cool thing about Maribel is that, unlike the other characters, she really grows the most. I mean, they all grow. This is one of the things I do like about Dragon Quest VII is that you really see some real growth. You don't see that in like 8. The growth itself is based in the main storyline. It's not actually in the interpersonal dialogues. Whereas in this, it's both a little bit in the main storyline, but you also see the growth in interpersonal dialogue. So it really has that extra nuance that kind of helps seal the deal. And this is my favorite game of all time. Shit, I'm just like jumping all over the place and around everywhere. Yeah, so his father's going off to do his annual catch, the main fish harvest. Big deal, because that's essentially how they get all their fish. I have to wonder where they store everything, because they never show you any warehouse or anything like that. So, you just assume that's normal. But of course, it's more. It's I don't know. I forget if is it really an annual fish harvest? No, no, it can't be. It's got to be more than that. All right. Anyway. Yeah, he's a layabout. Oh, poor me, I always get sick. I can't go on the trip. Oh, too bad. Well, you should have, you shouldn't complain. Come on, you're a sailor. Yeah. I don't know, that's probably a little bit cruel in today's world, but seriously. My God, man, the reasons that some people come up with to try to get out of doing work. Yeah, I'm easily 2 gold, but I kind of want to get every single item that's available as I progress through the game, and I'm trying to remember where everything is. But I'm actually having a hard time doing that. I've never really liked memorizing this kind of thing, except in certain games like Resident Evil 4. I mean, I remember where every single jewel is kept. I mean, even if I haven't played that game for like 2 years, I still recall exactly where to go to find everything. Anyway, here we go, the next scene. Yay, so after the boat leaves, you get called up to the castle, Esther Castle. From the aptly named Fishbell, the fishing town. And now Maribel is like, hee hee, I heard that. You're gonna go off to the castle. I'm gonna join you. I'm gonna buy dresses. It's gonna be awesome. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. That's nice, Maribel. I don't think Eris really cares all that much. In any case, we're running up pretty close to the time where I should probably stop this video. Yeah, that's right. She eventually stops you to make sure that you know that you're not really supposed to be talking to her because she has an image to maintain, because you're not privileged enough to talk to her. Yeah, this is where where people really get annoyed by her attitude and her mannerisms. I mean, she is such a roiling, spoiled brat. Okay, I mean, I wasn't gonna say roiling, spoiled brat, but you get the gist. I would prefer to try to keep this as clean as bloody well possible. Not like bloody isn't considered a cuss. Let's see, is there anything in here? God, I mean, I've played this game like 12 times, but I never, ever memorized anything that's in here. I memorize a good deal of the story and a good deal of certain key fights, but all right. So that is a seed. All right, so I guess that's it. Wait, was that? No, it's just a lamp. Oh well. So one of the things that I always loved about this game is it came out at the end of the PlayStation era, and you know, you have all these companies coming up with these awesome tweaks to the graphic system to you know, get the most out of the PlayStation. But not this game. I mean, this was basically begun almost at the beginning of the PlayStation era, and it's released just shy of the end of it. I mean, literally right around the same time that the PlayStation 2 is released. It's freaking amazing, and the graphics, it's so horrible, but at the same time, it's comical it's kind of charming, and it kind of adds to the charm in a really weird way. I mean, you wouldn't think so, but it does, because they're just so bad. Oh God. And I really enjoy them. I mean, the more I play this game, the more I enjoy the design aesthetics. Yeah, Handara, the uncle of the hero, Eris. Eris's uncle is a layabout, lazy, no good, useless, almost a thief. I mean, there are a couple of times when he practically acts like a thief, but he basically borrows from people and he doesn't pay them back. You know, he buys booze all the time with the money, even if he says he's gonna, you know, use it for good deeds. He's supposed to pay his landlord, and he has not paid his landlord at all. I mean, he's like the worst excuse for a human being that you can find. You know, he's even abusive to his own his nephew. It's like you have to wonder, but the strange thing is that Handara is actually one of the most useful characters in the game, because his negative attributes end up causing some of the most positive scenarios to occur, and without them, the world just wouldn't work out the way it does, and the game, the storyline just wouldn't play out. So it's almost like a saving grace of sorts. All right, so I'm going to stop recording.